evening. Appreciate you stopping in, and some of this bank right here. Can't have our side streets looking like a wild wood. Protect your track as much as possible. So for this little area, kid-friendly environment. We want to keep it that way. Uh, I don't know, but I've never seen water and electricity does not go good together. Not at all.
All of your artist stations are commercial free.
Brought to you by AT&T. Catch the iHeart Country Festival, a music experience by AT&T. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Network.
Cover. I want more cover. Okay. Now, let that dry up for a little bit. This is the group I was talking about.
Lonely and dreaming of the West Coast.
This stuff right here is that fiber fusion. So they with my big black boots and an old suitcase. Yes, I do believe I find wild looking. That's what I've made up. 2 different colors, 2 different batches. I'll be using that to work on this area here. That way we can see how it does. Nothing like watching paint dry, huh? Let's see if I can get this to there, that's a little better. That's a whole lot better. Let me get rid of the foam. But this down here is real rocks, real trees. Well, not trees, but branches from your pine trees that you can get out of your yard. I said if you put these in the oven, don't bake them, just cook them, you know, just enough to kill the bugs and the bacteria. Yes, I do have a police scanner running in the background. Oh, what am I looking for? Like I said, over a period of time, with hopefully donations that I receive through my beautiful followers, I will add quality modelers, you know, buildings, trees. I'm not gonna take my donations and say I'm gonna buy a $20 tree and then only go out and buy a $5 tree, you know. It don't work that way. Do what you say you're gonna do. People will trust you. They see you're for real. That you ain't gonna be one of these hooks and crooks that take you for your pennies. Like I said, if I offended anybody, I apologize. That means you gotta get with conscious. Means you better set it straight. I am a person that speaks my mind on how I say it. I apologize. A handshake was a handshake. That meant something. But I guess and this stuff is like that stuff you mix Elmer's glue with. It lasts for you embed it. And this stuff will I do consider him one of my friends, and I know you all do too. Yeah, I turn my music off. I am using on YouTube to stream. It's called OSB Studios. It's the same thing we use on the YouTube shows. Um, it's a good little setup. If I can use it, anybody can use it. Put it that way. Just set yourself up. Now, if you use Twitter, or YouTube, you got to have a YouTube has an account number, an ID number, and so does YouTube or Twitch. They have their own ID number, and you have to set it up and get verified. We'll make a little walkway down this way. How'd that guy go? Happy little trees. Well, I'm gonna make a happy little path. This stuff's pretty wild to think this is styrofoam. Like I said, my camera is not the best, and over a period of time I will upgrade that camera. I have to. I don't have to, but I'd like to. And you go back and you look for any kind of green or blue or whatever color you're using. And make sure you get down close to the cracks of the bed, because if you use real water, you know, that stuff you buy, 2-part epoxy and stuff, if you have a hole, it will find it. Like I said, that's only, 3 scoops of that with a putty knife, and it's covered 8 inches on each side. Oh man, it has to be the best Lipton tea. Lipton tea peach. Not bad at all. Looks pretty decent, I do have to say. I like how that's coming out, man. Thank you, Newcastle. You do a good job. Oh, what did you do? Newcastle was in the doghouse. Did you bring your trains to school? Bad young man. Okay, let's do a little bit of brown goop. You just take a little bit of this, because this is a different color. And you just take a corner of your putty knife and put it in different spots. That needed there. That way when you start doing that stippling, you can kind of work it into the colors that you want. Yeah, the wife asked me, she was doing a spring cleaning ordeal. And she goes, "You want these containers?" I said, "Well, yeah." And she brought me back a whole snot load of containers, different sizes, and I'm thinking, man, why did I say yes? Well, that's 2 of them right there. Do, do, do. But over the period of time, if you hear a child in the background, that is my grandson. He is 7 years old, and he's a Minecraft genius is what he calls himself. Which I've never played the game. But I understand it's a big ordeal. Yeah, I like that. I lay a log right there. Coming down this way. Oh, I hate sinus colds. Now, it don't look like it done nothing, but once this dries, you'll be able to see that the spots that I put in, the different texture and colors. That way, oh, I can't repeat what he typed in the line. Bad boy. But y'all need to, I ain't gonna harp y'all on what y'all should do with your life, because it's your own choice. Just do me one big favor in the world. Keep it real. I apologize to the younger audience that does watch this video. And I apologize for the older people that's watching this video about what I'm about to say. Nobody else in this country has screwed this world up more than the baby boomers. Me included, I'm a baby boomer. You know, the 60s kids, 70s kids, we're the ones that are messing this country up for you guys. Nobody else. That's who's in office right now, is baby boomers. And I think the power went to their head, and they need to get a grasp on reality. Because where this country's going ain't good. I personally care because my life's almost over, you know. I'm halfway done with it. But for Newcastle and his family and his friends that are growing up, it's I feel sorry for you guys. You got a chore ahead of you. But on that subject, let's go back to some brown goop. I know there's 3 things you shouldn't talk about. I just talked about 2 of them. Religious and politics, because that's a sore subject for a lot of people. I know. What's the 3rd subject? Trains. Y'all got to talk about trains. Trains make everything better. Everything's better with peanut butter. Everything's better with trains. I hope my wife ain't outside the train room listening to me. I'm waiting for the straight jackets to come. See, like now I'll leave this part here flat with none of this goop on it. And that'll be a flat rock to where, like, when the river gets high, it'll cut into the banks and reveal itself. The different colors in the rocks, the golds, the silvers. Silver and gold. People are probably thinking, man, this dude is touched. No, this is me. I guess I was put on this earth to make everybody, two things, either everybody happy or everybody miserable. I ain't figured it out yet. Wife says miserable. Because you don't pick on my friends. See, that just left a nice crack there. I like that. Leave that crack there. That way, it looks like it's falling apart. Yeah. Good idea. Thank you, Newcastle. So how many days did you get suspended for? Boom, 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 Mr. Sandman. You know, on this side where the tracks come down next to the river, you're going to have washouts, you're going to have drainage slips. You're going to see where the water has literally ran down the embankment, made cuts in it. That's pretty cool. I can use some of this brown on this rocks. Cool. Like I said, I'll make a schedule up, and that way I can post it, and if I'm on and y'all want to join me, have a cup of coffee in the morning and sweet tea in the afternoon, or Pepsi in the morning, or Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, whatever. If you want to come on in and join me, I appreciate it. I figured this is the best way to do a how-to video. I'll show you step-by-steps on how I do things, and like I've learned from other people, and just added my own little flair to it, I guess you say. That way you can think of something else that you might want to add to it, you know, to make it your way, your layout. Oh my good Newcastle. Santa Claus ain't gonna put coal in everybody's, well, maybe. Mine he will. I've been a good boy though. I like how that's coming out. So I got my path down here. Takes it up. Let's make a path right here. Make it semi kind of showable now, and then that way when you add your rocks and stuff to your path, it don't look like big boulders. I figure I'll do maybe 2-3 hour segments at a time on this. That way it can dry and come back and do another 2 or 3 hour episode. And I will always be working on this either on a live feed like I am now, or you can catch us on a YouTube hangout. YouTubeModelBuilders.com. They got an eMag that is coming out. It was supposed to be out the other day, but I think they're doing a special tribute to our brother, which I thought was phenomenal. And that way, I know Josh asked last night about it and really didn't say when it was coming out. He said a couple days, so I figured that's what they're waiting for, is all the people that the writer has asked to do a small article. Ooh, about Jim. Pictures and stuff like that, you know, which I think's cool. I'm leaving that crack, but I want this filled. I can move that with us. And it does take a couple days for the stuff to dry because of the glue and the water and everything. Just chop it like onions to get it to where you want it in the thickness. Boom, 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 boom. Leave a little bit of styrofoam showing through, that way, you know, gives it that different contour that you need. I don't want that big crack. That looks like Evel Knievel's Grand Canyon jump. That way I can make my little river. As far as the drainage. Oh. Well, just put it all in there and work it. But I will be taking a break here in a little bit, about a half hour maybe. A little longer. Mama made homemade lasagna. Dude, oh my God, I have to tell y'all, it is some of the best lasagna I've ever ate. I'm not being prejudiced. I'll tell you if your food sucks. But she does. She make good. I got a good cook. I got very lucky with my wife. I'm still trying to figure out why she married me. I know, 'cause it ain't for my money. Must have been for my good looks. Like my grandma said, too bad I got screwed out of both of them. Make a nice little path down between these two rocks. I said once you get all your ground foam, is like your turf or your grass and your static grass, your trees, your bushes. You're really hardly going to see any of this. Well, this part you will because it is out front, but a lot of undergrowth is what makes a layout. What you do, I mean, anybody can, like we was talking last night, anybody can put a train together. Anybody can run a train. To make your train look like what you want is special. Because it's your ideas coming from your head. You gotta say that's looking pretty good. I hear puppies. What is it? 5:30? Well, we should be having our evening train come up. I got a CSX line that runs across the road from me. They run in between 3 and 4 in the morning, and between 3 and 6 in the evening, coming back out of the holler. About 100 cars loaded with coal. Nice thing about it is when I start doing my coal facility is going to be in that area right here beside the river. That way I've got a loadout up the road from me, and then I've got a main coal mine at the head of the holler. I couldn't tell you the name of it because they just sold it. It used to be called Cliffs. company I worked for. Good company to work for. But they got scared when the economy dropped out and ran. Now these new people that are running it, making money. Yeah, they're pulling, got two SD40s. Well, three. Got one in the front and two in the back. And vice versa when it leaves. Two in the front, one in the back. Music to my ears. I love that sound. I think that my friend Teddy Compton, he's the one that got me back into the modeling. He's got a nice little layout. Well, it ain't little, it's 2 rooms. And if you can't see what you're doing and you want to know what it looks like, grab a flashlight and work your edges. That way it looks, you can see a lot when you get a light on it. Any of the styrofoam that you missed painting or that should be painted or covered up, you can take care of it. I know I wanted that for somewhere. There was a hole right here that I wanted to fill. No, not you, Phil. So a lot of this little bit of stuff goes a long way for sure. I'm really impressed on how it works. Now you gotta let your eyes adjust on how it grabs and how it looks when it's done. Oh. Yeah, that's looking decent. I like how that's coming out. You're absolutely right, Newcastle. Operations, that is a lot on how you run your layout, more or less. If you got a good operation going, now this is my philosophy on it. You might have the most outstanding looking layout. If you just want to run around, that's cool. If you want to do operations, that's cool. But stop and think. Operations, what does that mean? We're not playing the game operation. Okay, for example, if I got a coal company here, and I got a charcoal making plant here. Well, I gotta figure the safest, the fastest, and reliable route for my trains to run and staying out of everybody else's way proper. And that's goes with any layout, more or less, operations. Working your trains as, oh, I'm having a blonde moment. You being a conductor of the engine, it is your responsibility for the safety of your environment. I know this is just HO scale, but if you're going to do it right. That way you're not just doing runarounds. You know, you're putting coal cars at one facility, gondoliers at another facility, box cars at a facility. You got to take empties back to your yard or back to the coal companies, you know, the loadouts. It's a blast. And besides, it's the only place you will not get in trouble at with your mom or your wives, because you're in the house, you're not getting in any trouble, and you're stuck in your room. I hope I have enlightened people today. I've been about an hour and a half doing this now. I got some more styrofoam laid, painted, some rocks laid. I just don't like that rock. But I am going to call it a night or afternoon for a little bit. Let this dry. That way y'all can eat. Darn it. I can get the brown paint off my fingers. I'm not throwing it away because I will use that somewhere else. But I just didn't like how that looked there. I like how that looks now. And the nice thing about this stuff is, before I go, is this is where I left off. This is where I left off right here. This is where I started. Besides the color being dry and wet, that's the only thing that you really can tell. The texture's the same. Looks like a bunch of rocks. It'll be okay. But I'm going to jump off of here and have a nice dinner with my wife and my daughter and my son. My daughter came in from Virginia last night, shocked us. But I will set up a schedule, post it, and let y'all know leave me a comment on what you all think I should do. Should I keep doing this or just give it up and become a bum and live underneath a bridge? Can't make no money that way either. But I do appreciate y'all stopping in. I appreciate you coming by. If any ideas you want to throw my way, leave them in comments, post them. I appreciate it. But until then, you all have a safe night, a safe day, and be careful. Stay off the tracks. from my house to your house. You have a good evening.